Tommy Reardon returns to visit his estranged father, Paddy Conlon, after a 14-year absence. Tommy appears distant. Paddy, a former alcoholic, is now sober and nearing 1,000 days without a drink, though Tommy seems unimpressed by this change. Despite his father's attempts to reconnect, Tommy holds deep resentment towards him, blaming Paddy's past alcoholism, fractured family, and the hardships his late mother endured. Meanwhile, Tommy's brother Brendan Conlon, a high school physics teacher, is letting his daughter put makeup on him on her birthday party. His wife, Tess, is upset because they've overspent on the party and gifts. Brendan and Tess are struggling financially. Years earlier, Brendan had mortgaged their house to cover the medical costs of their daughter's heart surgery. Now, a financial advisor warns Brendan that he is behind on mortgage payments and could lose their home within 90 days. He suggests filing for bankruptcy, but Brendan resists, hoping to find another way. Tommy enters a local gym, where he notices an advertisement for Sparta, an international mixed martial arts tournament with a $5 million prize. While training at the gym, Tommy encounters a cocky fighter who mocks other participants. The gym owner, Colt, offers $200 to anyone who can beat this fighter. Tommy steps up, but Colt initially refuses, worried about Tommy's safety. After some persistence, Colt agrees, and Tommy wins the fight decisively. A spectator records Tommy's victory, and the video begins to circulate online, catching the attention of many. Back at the high school, Brendan tries to maintain a normal life, teaching Newton's laws of motion in an engaging way, which makes him popular with his students. However, one student discovers the video of Brendan fighting in an underground match, causing rumors to spread around the school. Brendan had secretly returned to fighting to earn extra money, despite promising Tess he wouldn't. When Tess finds out, she begs him to stop, worried for his safety. However, with their mounting debts, Brendan feels he has no other choice. Paddy visits Brendan to celebrate his sobriety milestone, but Brendan is still resentful, blaming Paddy for his troubled childhood. During the conversation, Paddy mentions that Tommy is back and training for the Sparta tournament. This news frustrates Brendan, who feels betrayed that Tommy didn't reach out to him. Meanwhile, Brendan, knowing the financial stakes, convinces his old friend and coach, Frank Campana, to train him for Sparta. Frank is initially reluctant, believing Brendan lacks the experience to compete at that level. However, Brendan persuades him, explaining his dire financial situation. Frank agrees to train Brendan but warns that the competition will be tough, especially with fighters like Koba, a Russian powerhouse who has never been defeated. Tommy and Brendan sign up for the Sparta tournament separately, and when the two have a conversation, Tommy still harbors resentment towards Brendan for abandoning him to be with Tess while Tommy and their mother left Paddy. During this time, Tommy assumed responsibility of caring for their mother, as she was faced with terminal illness. Brendan asserts that he was in love with Tess, and that's why he left the family, and has also forgiven their father, Paddy. Tommy remains skeptical and walks away. The Sparta tournament begins, and both Tommy and Brendan advance through the rounds. Tommy's fights are quick and brutal, earning him a reputation as a fearsome competitor. Brendan, on the other hand, struggles but shows incredible resilience, surprising everyone with his skill and heart. Tess, initially reluctant, comes to support Brendan at the tournament as he faces increasingly difficult opponents. At the same time, Tommy becomes a rising star in the Sparta tournament. He remains guarded and refuses to give interviews or interact with fans, further adding to his mystique. It's revealed that Tommy served as a Marine in Iraq, where he saved several Marines during an ambush. One of the rescued Marines sees Tommy on the news and publicly thanks him, drawing widespread media attention. However, Tommy is uncomfortable with the recognition and avoids discussing his past. Tommy's military history is revealed that he went AWOL after his friend and members of his unit were killed during the ambush. Tommy's sole purpose is to win the tournament and give the prize money to his friend's wife. As Tommy and Brendan continue to win, the media uncovers their family connection and reveals that the two brothers will face each other in the finals. This adds an emotional weight to the final match, as the world watches to see not only who will win but also how the brothers' strained relationship will unfold. feeling rejected by Tommy, relapses and drinks again. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Tommy embraces Paddy, showing that, despite his anger, he still cares for him. The final fight between Tommy and Brendan is intense and emotional. Tommy dominates the early rounds with his raw power, but Brendan refuses to give up. As the fight progresses, Brendan gains the upper hand, and in the final round, he locks Tommy in a submission hold. Despite Tommy's toughness, Brendan keeps telling him, "I love you," and pleads for him to stop. Finally, Tommy taps out, signaling his surrender. Brendan wins the tournament, securing the prize money that will save his family's home. However, the real victory is the emotional reconciliation between the brothers. Brendan helps Tommy to his feet, and the two walk out of the arena together, suggesting that their relationship is finally on the path to healing.